Good day, good people. This Sunday is Palm Sunday, which is the start of Holy Week. Please join in our worship as much as you can, because it is the most significant part of the Church's year, and there is much to be gained from following Christ's triumphal entry into Jerusalem. On then to the Last Supper on Maundy Thursday, the betrayal and arrest of Jesus, followed by his trial and crucifixion on Good Friday. And then we will gather just before sunset on Easter Eve to hear the story of God's salvation in the Scriptures before kindling the Easter light as the sun sets and proclaiming the resurrection, and then on to our celebration that follows on Easter Day. The Palm Sunday service will start at 10 o'clock in the church hall with the blessing and procession of palms. The weather forecast is dry, so we will walk from the church hall around the field along the tram track and back into church. Please join us if you can. On Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday of Holy Week, there will be the Eucharist at 6:30 p.m. each evening. On Tuesday evening, we will make a special intention to remember the soul of Rose Haslam, who died last week and whose funeral has been set for the end of May. On Maundy Thursday, we will celebrate the Eucharist of the Last Supper at 7:30 p.m, which will end with the stripping of the sanctuary and a vigil in front of the altar of repose. On Good Friday, morning prayer at 8:30 a.m. will include the litany, and then coffee and hot cross buns at 9 a.m. before setting off at 9:15 a.m. on our procession of witness. We will share this with members of the other churches in Heaton Churches together, and we will call at St George's, at St Gabriel's, St Teresa's, Heaton Baptist Church and St Cuthbert's, and then arrive in Hadrian Square at 11 a.m. for an ecumenical act of worship. We will hold our own Liturgy of the Cross at 2 p.m. with hymns and devotion to the cross. On Easter Eve, in the morning, I invite anyone who would like to do so to join me in preparing the church for Easter. There are all sorts of little jobs to be done, tidying, cleaning and polishing, including outside, so if you'd like to join me, you would be very welcome. The Easter Vigil will begin at 7:30 p.m. in the church hall, and this is always a very special occasion as we prepare to mark the start of the Easter celebration, including the renewal of baptismal promises. On Easter morning, there will be Eucharists at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. as usual. If you're away, don't forget that you can watch the 10 a.m. service live on our Facebook page or afterwards on our YouTube channel. The events of Holy Week and Easter never fail to stir and encourage us. And today, the 31st of March, the Church commemorates the metaphysical poet John Donne, who wrote a set of poems called the Holy Sonnets. Here is number 10. Death, be not proud, though some have called thee mighty and dreadful, for thou art not so. For those whom thou think'st thou dost overthrow, die not, poor death, nor yet canst thou kill me. From rest and sleep, which but thy pictures be, much pleasure. Then from thee much more must flow, and soonest our best men with thee do go, rest of their bones and souls delivery. Thou art slave to fate, chance, kings and desperate men, and dost with poison, war and sickness dwell, and poppy or charms can make us sleep as well and better than thy stroke. Why swell'st thou then? One short sleep past, we wake eternally, and death shall be no more. Death, thou shalt die. This is what we celebrate in this week of weeks, the death of death and the spring of our hope in the spring of the year. I pray that you and all those whom you love will have a blessed and holy week.